Welcome to day 16 of this 30-day pelvic floor challenge. You're officially over the halfway mark, so I can't say it's going to get easier as we move towards the end, but maybe you can tell by the blanket that we're going to be side lying again today. If you're working on relaxation, you can already skip forward to the relaxation exercise at the end. Otherwise, you can take yourself down into the side lying position. So we're going to again start with the top leg flexed and resting on the floor. The bottom leg, we're going to first take an RPE4 contraction, so a gentle contraction of the pelvic floor. We're going to lift that bottom leg and then we're going to raise it and lower it as we create the strong contraction in the pelvic floor. So maximum strength contraction as you lift and relaxation to the 4 as you lower. Okay, so we're going to contract, release, contract, release, contract, release. My eyebrows are doing it. Contract, release. Try not to do it with your eyebrows. Contract, release, contract, release, contract, release, contract, release. And as you're doing this, don't forget to breathe. Contract, release for 1 more, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And lower it down. Okay, let everything relax. Give everything just a little moment. It's quite tough when you start doing this. You could see I started doing it with my eyebrows, and that's maybe it's because I'm talking. When I practice this myself, I don't usually use my eyebrows, so be very mindful of that. Place the hand on the floor. We're going to do another round of these. So take the RPE4. You're going to keep the RPE4. You can lift the leg off the ground a little, and we're going to contract, release, strong contractions. As you do this, keep breathing. Contract, release, follow the foot, contract, release, squeeze, release, squeeze to 10 to 4, 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 and relax all the way back down to 0. Okay, we're going to swap the leg that is coming in front. So again, we're going to do our maximum strength contraction. And as we do this, we're going to take the leg up and down. So you're going to contract up to 10 and down to 4. So the same, we start with an RPE4. So we take a gentle contraction. So we have an activation of the pelvic floor. Just lift that leg off the floor and then contract the pelvic floor, lower. Contract the pelvic floor, release, contract, release. So as strong as you can when you lift the leg up and then lower it down. So we're going up to a 10, down to a 4, 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 up to a 10, down to the 4, 1 more, up to a 10, down to a 4, and release. Okay, let the legs be a little bit soft for a moment and give that a little rub if you want. It's quite a strong exercise already with the external hip rotators, the abductors working on abduction, but also you have your strong contraction of your pelvic floor. So make sure that when the leg is coming up, you're doing a really strong contraction, as strong as you can possibly do. So you're contracting as strong as you can, and then you're lowering to the 4, contracting as strong as you can and lowering to the 4. And it's really tricky in this position, but you can do it. Practice makes perfect. Okay, ready? So contract up to a 4, lift the foot just a little bit off the floor, and then you're going to go to 10 and down to 4, 10 on the pelvic floor to 4, 10 on the pelvic floor to 4, squeeze as hard as you can, 4, squeeze as hard as you can, 4, keep lifting and lowering, keep going, keep breathing, don't lose the rhythm, keep going, you can do this, keep going, and 1 more, and lower it down. Okay. I'm going to do the same now on the opposite side. So you might notice a difference. This is, for me, usually the weaker side. So making sure the hips are stacked when you start. We're going to start on the adductor, so the inside leg. So you're going to take an RPE4 and lift the leg just a little bit, and then we're going to contract and release. So squeeze as hard as you can on the pelvic floor as you lift that up. And it is difficult to squeeze in this, but squeeze up and release, hard as you can, release, hard as you can, release, hard as you can, release, hard as you can. Come on, keep going. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and release it down, and then just let the legs be soft. Give everything a little wiggle if you can in this position. I'm going to go again. So straight, active leg, straight, flexed foot, hips are stacked, everything is nice and soft, you're going to take your RPE4 contraction as you begin. So you have a little bit of activation in the pelvic floor, and then you're going to contract to 10 and to 4. 10, 4, contract, release, strong as you can, lower it down, strong as you can, keep breathing, keep the connection to your pelvic floor. Remember, it's your pelvic floor that you really want to focus on here. Strong contraction and release. Okay, let's swap. So take the bottom leg down and bring the top leg out. So again, just make sure that everything is nicely stacked and comfortable here. You can press your fingertips on the floor just to help you maintain balance. Flex the bottom foot, take the RPE4 contraction, gentle activation of the pelvic floor. You're going to hold that throughout, flex the foot, lift it up just a little with that gentle contraction, and then you're going to contract hard and release. Contract hard and release. 10, 4, 10, 4, 10, come on, you can do it, 4, keep breathing, 10, 4, you can do it, 10, 4, 3 more, 10, 4, 2, 10, 4, 1 more, contract and release and lower down to 0. Oh, okay, so we have one more round on this side if I'm counting properly, but I am a yoga teacher, we don't know how to count, so let's go again. So we're going to take the gentle contraction of the pelvic floor, going to lift the leg up just a little as we do that, and then squeeze the pelvic floor as hard as you can, relax it to 4. Squeeze it as hard, relax it to co-contract. Squeeze, release. 10, 4, 10, 4, 10, 4. Nice and strong. 10, 4. Come on. 10. You can do it. Keep breathing. 4, 10, 4. 1 more. 10 and 4. Okay. Release the leg down. All right. Take yourself up. Oh, how does that feel? It's can be a little bit of a challenge to do those very strong contractions while doing AB and adduction, so using the muscles on the insides and the outsides of the legs. Very tough, worth doing. Really, really good at helping to build deep strength in your pelvic floor and also around your hips. So now we're going to do a little relaxation, and today's relaxation is going to be a happy baby pose. But for our happy baby today, we're actually going to take the blanket and place that underneath the hips. So we're going to sit up onto the blanket, and this is going to give us a little bit more of a tilt when we're in our happy baby pose today. So rather than having the sacrum flat, we're going to be a little bit more rounded in the back, but this can be nice to help to kind of stretch out the low back a little bit in this position, and you get a little bit deeper into the hips also. So just make sure that your low back is just above the bottom of the blanket, and squeeze the knees in, and then we're going to bring the legs up, and you can see that in this kind of slightly tilted position, the knees come a little closer to the under part of the chest. And we're just going to rock a little from side to side. You will notice that there's a deeper hip compression in this position, and that's okay. So try to allow the back to be heavy. I'm going to try to be soft in this position. So the legs might open a little wider than usual. You have a little bit of a tilt. Try to rest the feet into the hands, and you're gently gripping with the hands. You're not holding so super hard, but you should feel as you rest into this position that there's a little bit of a deeper opening through the pelvic floor. Now, we worked quite hard on the AB and adductors there, and now we're getting into compression and kind of moving a little to stretch the adductors on the inside of the leg. So you might feel quite a stretching force around the inside of the legs. Just try to allow yourself to really relax into this and allow that stretch. So this is it's a long hold. Just let everything open and release. And then we're going to release the feet, draw the knees in towards the chest, take a little hug here. You can just lift the blanket out from underneath the hips and allow the low back to come down on the floor, and just rock a little over the sacrum. And then coming up. And that is it for today. So I hope that your body is still complying and coming along with you through this process. Remember that you don't have to work at this level if your body isn't ready yet. Very, very important that you listen to your body and that you work with your body where you find it each and every day. I wish you a really wonderful rest of your day, and I hope that I get to see you again tomorrow.